A very warm good afternoon and welcome to all the educators who are here today. Thank you for joining us on the day 2 of the webinar. Most of you would have attended the first day, and we understand and we've already we know that how excited you are to be a part of the Be Internet Awesome program. Today we'll help you understand what are the steps that you need to do. Well, these steps will not be done by themselves. It's going to take our mentor and guide, Ms. 𝗕𝗲 𝗂𝗲𝗔𝗲𝗃's effort and guidance to help us get to the other side. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her. She's going to be helping us learn more about Be Internet Awesome and transact it across our schools all over the country. Please take over, ma'am.
Thank you, Pramukta. I think I'm not going to take anyone through the, the actual process. You all are going to be empowered to be able to do it yourself. So if you can start sharing my screen. Great. So you all know me. You all have done webinar 1. And today we will go a little bit into the depth of the curriculum that we have for Be Internet Awesome. Now, when we start talking about Be Internet Awesome, and there are some lovely stories which are coming in, and people are getting enthused to actually transact this workshop, not only in their own school, but they're going out as well. So kudos to all those educators who have been pouring in with this exciting news that they are implementing this program. I'm talking about the first cohort. We already have somebody who has qualified for the certification from that batch, and I'm sure you people after this session will be ready to go as well. So a couple of things that came up in the feedback form and the follow-up session, and some of you probably could not attend the follow-up session. That's okay. We have a playlist of the YouTube videos that are being uploaded onto our channel, our YouTube channel, and you can just go in there and you can have a look at whatever you have missed. You do need to attend the 2 webinars though. That is something which is for your own information and for your own knowledge. You need to know how to actually implement the program. But the follow-ups, of course, are optional, because what we have is we have the WhatsApp groups, we have the Google groups. Wherever you think you can, access these support systems, you can put in your question there, and we have a team who is looking at answering all your questions. So right now we have Manu who's manning the chat at Mahattattva. So if you have any questions which need to be answered like just now, so you can put them in chat as well. So we started talking about these 5 units and what are these units, what do they entail, and we did talk about the 3 units in detail, and today we are going to talk about the remaining 2 units. But before I do that, I am going to just get you a flow through what are the steps for certification for this program, so that you are clear in your mind and you can just start training your children. So for the certification, we are saying that you should attend the CBSE webinars which are happening for you. You have to attend 2 of them, and if you have a Q&A, because in the Q&A session it is absolutely one-to-one and it is Google Meet, so we can actually unmute and talk to each other and ask questions and reply. This webinar, because it is for very many people, some online right now and some are going to watch it at a time convenient to them, but we want you to feel absolutely supported that these 2 webinars, you can watch them on the YouTube playlist as well, which Manu would have shared with you. You can go on to the YouTube channel and see these webinars. but the attendance has to be there for 2 webinars at least. So you can join any cohort. You can look at the website where these dates are there, and you can join in at any time. We are going to go on till September and then start the other leg of the program again, and you can join in. So we are saying attend the 2 webinars. Then you go on to the website and you read about the resources and prepare for your own student engagement. Now, I might say 100 things here. There might be 1,000 things in the book, but as a teacher, you would like to customize it according to your own set of children in your school, in your city, or town or village, wherever you are stationed right now. Because we sitting across the screen actually don't know what your children will actually benefit with. So we are absolutely certain that you are in charge here. So you look at the resources. All the resources are provided to you, so you pick up what you want, and you make sure that the student goals that we talk about at the beginning of each unit, those are satiated. Those are some things which are put a tick to. So आपको जो बुकलेट है आपके पास है, जो ऑनलाइन बुकलेट आपके पास है, उसमें आप गोल्स देखिए और अपना जो लेसन है वो अपने अकॉर्डिंगली उसको प्रिपेयर कीजिए. सो 2 webinars, resources देखिए. After resources, and you have planned your intervention, your engagement, so you have to train 100 children minimum. So we are saying you can go up till 200 children. That's not a problem. Like I know there are some people who are calling in to say कि मैम हमारे क्लास 5 के सेक्शन में 6 sections है और हम सब बच्चों को कराना चाहते हैं. So go ahead and do it, but the minimum number is 100. Then after you have trained the children, you have to create a 2-minute video, and a whole lot of you must have already seen the video on our Facebook page, where Aditya actually did a beautiful thing of implementing it in his school, and he says that's the start of his intervention, and he will continue doing these sessions with the children. So 2 minutes video and 100 names of the children whom you have trained. That's all we are looking for. You upload that onto the form that has been given to you, and you are ready for your certification. So these are the two steps that you need to do. You have to train 100 children. You have to create a 2-minute video and upload it onto the link. Like I said, lots and lots of resources and channels for support that are available with you. According to the feedback that we received after the first webinar, a whole lot of you said that in YouTube you can't see clearly, the chat is not visible, so the attendance form could not be filled up. We sent a message through also by mail that please make sure that you have the YouTube app on your phone, because the app is more coherent to the entire ecosystem, and you will be able to see the video and the chat together. So if you do not have that, as I'm speaking to you, you can download that. We did send this message through the email that we sent to you on the registered email, that is. So we have the website. We have the links there for you to come on a daily basis from 5 to 6 o'clock. There are Google groups, there are Telegram groups. You have the YouTube the playlist with you, so you can get onto that and you can watch your webinars again if you think you have any clarifications. But on the website, and I have increased the size for this for you, so that some of you have saying that on the phone it was not visible. So my team has given me this feedback that I should increase the size, and I'm sure you can see it now. So if I go on to, so we've spoken about resources, we've spoken about the assessments, the student assessments, the 5 of them for your use, and this is your student training completion form. So you just have to fill this up, upload your 2-minute video and the names of the 100 children or more than 100 children that you have trained, upload that video, and you are ready for your certification. In here are the help desk, the support bits. that you need to do. So if I go down on this, you will see that the help desk is there with the email, the phone number you can connect with, the form where you can write, and right at the bottom are the office hours. So 5 to 6 from Monday to Friday, you can join in here. This is a one-to-one meet wherein it's a Google Meet wherein you can unmute and you can speak to us. So the resources are there. Please make use of them. And we want maximum people to be able to actually do this program. Like I said last time, our sole aim is to empower the children who are exploring the space right now. We spoke about Google Slides and the Pear Deck, and we also spoke about how to use the Google Forms, and some of you wanted a demo of that again. So I'm going to give you a demo of the assessment. So there are 5 units that you have to accomplish with the children. And once you have done this, there are some assessments that we have done. When you click on them, they will ask you to make a copy. So if you click on make a copy, it will create a Google form in your drive. Okay, so that's the first step. I'm going very slow on this so that those of you who do not know Google Forms will be able to understand. So the Google form will open up, and as you can see, the copy is already created and it's in your drive. So you can look at it and you see all of this is editable. Okay, so you can go and you can edit all you want because some of you might feel that you want to change the questions, or this question will be a little difficult for the children to answer. So make sure that you edit and you put in, you read the questions and you see if your children will be able to answer these. So this is the assessment for unit 1. So you look at this very carefully and see there are 10 questions for 10 points. Now, how do you check when the children fill this up? How do you find out who has responded? So you click on responses. You will see once the children start responding, you will get the responses here. And you can also extract this in an Excel sheet, which is called the Google Sheet. I will create it. And this is how your result will come up as to what the children have answered and what is their score. So you will be able to see that. And how do you share this with the children? So your questions are here. If you can see on the right hand side, there is this purple button. If I click on send, it gives me the option of sending this by mail, sending the link, or embedding it in my website. So if I want to send it by link, I will shorten the link because this is like too long for a message or an email. So I will say shorten URL. It shortens it for me. I copy it, and then you can send it by mail. You can send it by WhatsApp or Telegram or whatever mode of communication you have set up for your parents. You can send this to the parents, and the parents can ask the children to do it, and the result comes to you. Where will it come? It will come in this Excel sheet once the children have done it. So this was a little demo on how will these assessments work, because I think in the feedback form, some 3 or 4 people had said that if I could just demonstrate how these assessments work. And I'm now going to go on to the student training form. So if I click on that, this form comes up. This is not editable. This is for you to fill up after you've done with your training. So you write your mail, you write your full name, the name of the school, your city, and which COE you belong to. If you don't have a COE, you write, like I know that there are people from Muscat and UAE who are joining in. So just write other, your contact number, just in case we have something that we want to cross check, your personal ID, your CBSE ID, and then the 2-minute video that you have created, you can upload that, and you can add the 100 students' names just the way you would like them to appear on the certificate. So we've also given you a template. This is also a Google Sheet. So you fill this up and you upload it here using this link. So this is the way that you will get your certification. So you need to do the program, make a video for 2 minutes, and then add the 100 children that you have trained and upload it here and click on submit, and you will be considered for your certification. So I'm going to go on to the booklet now. The booklet, if you look at it, if you want, you can go on to resources. If you are on a laptop or a desktop, please, you can access it from here. So the complete booklet opens up here. I've opened it up here in my drive. I've saved it, and you can see that once this is in my Google Drive, I can actually, highlight stuff, and I can write my comments on it. So once I write my comments, these are my bookmarks. When I'm actually working with the children, I know where do I need to go for certain activities. So when you open this up from the resources column, you can go along with me. I'm going to mention a few pages, and if you can bookmark them with your own understanding, it'll be really nice. So you see the 5 units come up. And after that, it tells you how to execute this program, right? So we spoke about this. We said you have to set the goals for the children. You talk about it. The talking activities are also given in this book. Then you actually undertake some activities according to the grade level that you are talking with. And then you have a plenary session where you talk to the children as to what is that that you are taking away from this lesson. So ये जो टेक अवे वाला सेशन है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज इससे आपको पता लगेगा कि इस यूनिट में बच्चों को ये समझ में आया है यूनिट कि नहीं आया है. So even for me this is a very complicated situation, because some of you have said कि मैम आप सिर्फ इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं, आप थोड़ा बीच में हिंदी में भी बोलिए. और जो हमारे फ्रेंड्स साउथ में हैं वो कह रहे हैं आप हिंदी में मत बोलिए क्योंकि समझ में नहीं आता आप क्या बोल रहे हैं हिंदी में. सो आई एम गोइंग टू टेक द मिड पार्ट. आई एम गोइंग टू से सर्टन थिंग्स और उनको मैं फिर रिपीट हिंदी में करूंगी जहां जहां पे मुझे लगेगा कि आपको ये पॉइंट जो है आपको समझना चाहिए और ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि काफ़ी सारी सब्जेक्ट टीचर्स यहाँ पे हैं. सिर्फ कंप्यूटर साइंस और कंप्यूटर टीचिंग टीचर्स नहीं है सिर्फ यहाँ पे, तो सब्जेक्ट टीचर्स भी हैं और काफ़ी सारी हिंदी और पीई टीचर्स ने लिखा है कि मैम आप हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में बोलिए. सो एज यू कैन सी दैट in the activity it will tell you that this is for grades 2 to 6, 2 to 3. so वो आपको बताएगा वहां पे कि ये इस ग्रेड के लिए है. And then very important, something which is really making the rounds nowadays is the socio emotional learning. so जहां पे आप बच्चों को इमोशंस, उनको काइंडनेस, एम्पैथी के बारे में बताना चाहते हैं, तो वो उस एक्टिविटी में लिखा होगा कि यहाँ पे आप इस रिसोर्स को SEL के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं. सो आई विल गो अहेड फॉर ऑल द एक्टिविटीज. जो हमारे 5 यूनिट्स हैं, आपको मालूम है कि उसमें वोकैबुलरी की एक्टिविटीज भी दी हुई हैं. और वोकैबुलरी एक्टिविटीज में अगर मैं यहाँ पे वेबसाइट में जाऊं तो यहाँ पे आपके पास रिसोर्स है गूगल स्लाइड्स का और पेयर डेक का. सो यू हैव टू यूज दिस. इट इज ऑलरेडी मेड, इट इज ऑलरेडी रेडी. यू जस्ट हैव टू गो देयर and you have to click on it and your resource is ready to be used. So that's how you can actually work on the vocabulary. It's already there. And like I said, अगर आपके पास प्रोजेक्टर नहीं है, क्लासेस में कंप्यूटर्स नहीं है, तो आप वो एक्टिविटी को देखिए, अपनी खुद की एक्टिविटी बनाइए, आप कैसे उसको एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हैं और बच्चों को आप अपने फ्लो में जिसमें आप कंफर्टेबल हैं बच्चों को ये एक्टिविटीज कराइए. एक सिर्फ हमें जो चीज ध्यान में रखनी है, द ओनली थिंग दैट मैटर्स इज दैट द चाइल्ड शुड अंडरस्टैंड द गोल्स दैट वी हैव सेट. जो हम शुरू में कहते हैं कि बच्चों को इस यूनिट में ये 4 चीजें समझ में आनी चाहिए, वो आपकी एग्जीक्यूट होनी चाहिए. सो हाउ डू यू डू इट, विच रिसोर्सेज यू यूज इज अप टू यू, which activity are you going to use from this book is up to you, but at the end of the day the goals should be done. So ये आपको शुरू में सिर्फ बताते हैं कि कैसे आपको एग्जीक्यूट करना है, क्या क्या रिसोर्सेज आपके लिए यहाँ पे अवेलेबल हैं, टेम्पलेट्स हैं, बिंगो कार्ड्स के टेम्पलेट्स, और वो बताते हैं आपको बिंगो कार्ड्स आपने कैसे खिलाना है, वर्ड वेब कैसे खिलाना है. दिस इज क्वाइट लाइक the Freya model that we use, wherein you put the word in the middle, the children write the definition, the characteristics, the examples, and the non-examples. Very, very like the Freya model visual thinking technique that we use very often in classrooms to get the children to think. Okay, now I'm on page number 9. अगर आप मेरे साथ हैं और आपने बुक को खोला हुआ है तो आप देखेंगे कि पेज नंबर 9 में आपकी पेरेंट की लेटर है. So it's a template. You can use this to announce to your parents that you are in your school, you are aware of cybersecurity, and you're now getting the children to become smart digital citizens. So there is a template. ये template आप अपने accordingly इसको customize कर सकते हैं और अपने school में you can send it out to the parents. So there is a template there, very nicely done. There are lots of questions that you might have for the program. So all the questions are here. Some questions are here, some questions are also answered in our FAQs, because जब आप इस रिसोर्स में जाते हैं तो काफी कुछ जो रिसोर्स में है जनरल है, और हमने जो आपके FAQs यहाँ पे डाले हैं वो बहुत ही कस्टमाइज टू द इंडियन सिनेरियो हैं, कि वो प्रोग्राम कैसा है, सर्टिफाइंग बॉडी कौन है, CBSE और गूगल है, और फुल स्टे क्या है, हमने इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी एंड एजुकेशन में बारे में बात किया था, तो वो क्या चीज है, हम क्यों उसको फॉलो कर रहे हैं. सो ऑल ऑफ दैट इज हियर, एंड देयर आर सम ऑन पेज नंबर from page number 10 onwards as well in your booklet. So all these questions are there. Again, I want to remind you that the curriculum says that this curriculum is applicable for from grade 2 to grade 6 onwards. But as I said before also, हमने ये पायलट में यूज किया है curriculum, और 11th और 12th क्लास के बच्चों के साथ भी किया है, और जो जलंधर में अभी एक टीचर ने आज ही इस प्रोग्राम को हमें सबमिशन दिया, या कल दी थी मेरे ख्याल, उन्होंने भी क्लास 11th एंड 12th के बच्चों को यूज करके छोटे बच्चों को उसकी मीनिंग सिखाएं. सो दैट्स एक्चुअली गिविंग अ लीडरशिप sort of a opportunity to the older children to teach the younger ones. So sky is the limit. I know you people do amazing activities in your school. You can just adapt it the way you want. You can have a year-long program for this, but for the beginning, for you to start, we want to know that you are actually ready to implement this in your school, and that is the reason why we are doing this, and we are asking you to finish the program in 60 days. But I don't think you need that much time. So try and get on with this program, implement it slowly in your class, and in 15 to 20 days, you will be ready to give your evidence. So this was about the introduction. So now I'm coming on to chapter 1. So chapter 1 is Share with Care. And you can see the programs are there. This is what I was telling you. The theme is there. So this is what you have to solve with the children. So create and manage a positive reputation. How do you do that? How do you tell them about digital footprints? So यहाँ पे आप, you can tag this goals for unit 1. So once you've done that, you can comment it. And once you comment on the PDF on your Google Drive, see, it stays there. So if when you are scrolling past, you can see, what was there in this. This is a parent email. This is the unit 1 goals. So you can actually scroll through and you can see that you don't have to do this whole exercise again. So the goals for unit 1 are there. So you can bookmark that, write a comment against that. And then it will give you the vocabulary. It will tell you what to share, what not to share. So your goals for the children, let's talk. It talks about the activity. This is actually a activity that you can do in the class where you make up a secret. This is for the little ones, and you tell them that you pair up and share the secret with your friend and discuss these three important questions. Would you share this secret with anyone? Who would you share it with? How would you feel if somebody told your secret without your permission? So getting that children into the groove, and I think uh, this pretend activity can be done with the children, with the little children, but the discussion can be really higher level. Even if you have the same questions for the older children, it's you can take it higher the way you want it. So you can actually build this up for the older children. So that's why I'm saying that any of these activities can be done at any level, depending upon how you plan and how you very creatively, innovatively, you push this in front of your children. So there are some takeaways. So you must discuss the takeaways with the children. And every unit has a few lessons. So you can go through them and you can get the children to do some of the activities, if not all. अगर आपको लगता है कि सारी एक्टिविटीज नहीं कराने की जरूरत है, पर वो जो गोल जो है, 4 गोल इस यूनिट के लिए हैं, वो गोल्स आपने बच्चों को समझाने हैं. कैसे समझाएंगे? सिनेरियो करा के, डिस्कशन करके, रोल प्ले करके. दैट इज ऑल अप टू यू. देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ activities here. You can choose which ones you want to use. So as you can see, the scenarios have come up. So these scenarios, you can get the children in groups. You can give one scenario to one group and you can get them to discuss. So this is something you just have to facilitate, because the children will talk. Here when they present, they will talk and the others will give constructive feedback. So you just have to make the environment where the children are feeling safe, not threatening. They understand that we will be giving these suggestions to each other and there will be no judgment for it. So make that kind of an environment, and you will see that the children slowly and gradually will discuss the pertinent points that you actually intended to give to them. So these are the scenarios which you can use, and of course after that lesson there is a takeaway. Here again you have scenarios, and this is for lesson 2, where it tells you what the teachers can do. Here again there are passwords. There's a scenario on passwords. There is a scenario on posting online. How would you feel? So you see, everywhere it'll get you to sit in that person's shoes and get you to feel how will you feel about it. How would you think? What do you think will be your reaction? So everybody, actually, the little ones especially, they will feel that situation. They will get into it, and you will also have children in the class who actually can't do it. So some children don't have that tendency, or they've not got that experience to reflect. So you will have to work with them. So slowly and gradually, I think the children will understand the kind of exercises you are doing. And if you show them enough examples, or if you talk about enough examples, they will learn. What really is really powerful is also if children talk and discuss in their own class. So if a teacher is saying something that might not sit very well, कि I don't know टीचर क्या बोल रही हैं, ये कैसा सिचुएशन है, बट आपकी ही क्लास में अगर कोई एक बच्चा अपने सिचुएशन सुनाता है कि मेरे फादर का बैंक का पासवर्ड था, वो उन्होंने चिट पे लिखा था, वो चिट ऑफिस में रह गई और फिर किसी ने हैक कर लिया और उनके इतने रुपीस जो है वो एक्सट्रैक्ट हो गए. सो अ चाइल्ड विल understand that situation more. So that is the reason why, if you get more and more discussions into the classroom, you will see that the children will open up and they will start talking about what actually happened with them. So there are a lot of the people, parents especially, they say, you've got this amazing bank loan, interest free bank loan, click on this link, and all your information, passwords and all which are there, which you have saved in your mobile they go away. So these are the kind of things. And then the police was involved. There is a cyber security cell nowadays in most of the police stations. So how did that entire thing happen? So awareness will also increase when these discussions happen in the classroom. I'm sure most of you didn't know this, because every big police station in your vicinity has a person who's looking at cybercrime. And even if there is nobody there, there are helplines which you can. India, the government has opened up a lot of helplines wherein you can go and you can report. And especially for young girls and young boys where cyberbullying happens, there are also helpline numbers, anonymous, where you can go and you can put in the, suppose somebody's put a post for you which you don't like, you can put that link onto this website, and they will take action against it, and you don't have to even name yourself. So these kind of things will come up with the older children when you start talking to them about this entire thing. So ranging from class 2, where they're talking about their mobile phones and using their mums and their dads mobile phones, going up to, I was bullied online, you will get this entire range of skeletons which will actually come out, and children will start talking about it. And I think for them to start talking about is the first step to actually become bold about it and handle the situation, because they will get the support and they will understand, oh my god, my teacher is talking about it. So there's a person, there's an adult in my school, because she's so open about it and she has spoken in the class about it, so I can go to her and say, this is something which I saw online and it was very upsetting, and what do I do? So try and make that kind of an environment, non-threatening environment in your class, where children can look at these scenarios and they can talk and they can discuss all these problems with themselves. And you, of course, are there to facilitate and moderate the discussions which are going on. So you will see that now we are on unit 1, lesson 3, and the same pattern is being followed up. And here, see, there are the talking points also. If you are looking at growing awareness, seeing, learning, context, representation, what does that mean? It gives you what to talk to the children. So you look at this and you can ideate as to what do I put in my planning. Okay. So here, there's a sport code. It talks about, and what if you saw a picture of someone wearing a cheese wedge on the top of their head? What would you think about that person? So most of these things, like if you see Wisconsin and all of these things are there, you will have to customize it to the Indian scenario. So that is the only thing that you will need to do. Talk about the Indian examples, because our children will not understand what the Packer fans are, right? We will probably understand with cricket. So make it contextualized to the children and they will understand. So here, the activities, you describe yourself with emojis, you show and tell, you learn about each other, and as a class, you discuss something like this. So your t-shirt, where you have to put your logo which describes you, and the emoji grid, they're all given here. So if you want to, print these out and give it to the children, it will be nice if you can give them colored printouts, and they can probably cut these out and express themselves as to how they perceive these emojis when they see them. So we are in lesson 4 now, and I need to move a little fast because we are looking at another 25 minutes of this. This is an amazing activity. So this is on page number 27. What's in the frame? So have a look at the first picture, and this is something which relates very well with the children. So this is something which actually shows you that you are in the sea with a boat or a ship, or maybe a pirate boat. And if you actually zoom out, it is actually something which is in a tub, and there's a boy with a ducky in his hand. So here, this looks like, there's a monster, but this is actually a shadow of a flower. Here, it seems as if the tiger is just here and near the person or the girl, and here you see that tiger is actually behind the glass. So get the children to understand that what you see online is not what you actually perceive it. It could be entirely different. So how do you critically look at resources online? How do you make sure that this is right, this is wrong? And then it is followed up with this amazing activity where you can, have two or three children, identify two or three children. Here they've taken three children and they've given a description for it. And then they have, the cutouts. So you have to guess who this child is, depending on what was said about this person or what this person is saying. So, talking about perceptions, how the children can look at a certain profile, and if they see a particular thing, how do they find out? This is actually a very deep learning thing. You have a profile of a person and you have this thing. Whom will it belong to? Will it be Christy, Tyler, or Connor? So you can have your own names, you can have your own uh, you know uh, profiles, and you can give these situations to the children and let them guess. And this is something which will get them very attuned to what happens when we are online. And the same thing goes for your discussion when you look at the yourself also online, because there are certain times we do things like that. I know of young girls who never take a normal photograph. They always have a filter on when they take a photograph. So that's not giving out the real picture, right? So what are those kind of things which actually happens online, and what the person or the information that you read online may not be what actually you think it is. So this unit finishes with the interland game, and we go on to the second unit, which is don't fall for fake. And here you have all the phishing and the catfishing, what are the pop-ups, and all these kind of things which come up in your discussion. And the same way it follows with activities, with URLs, with finding out. So there's a amazing activity here where the handouts are given. You can give them as worksheets as well to the children, and there's a certain sort of an example given here, and you have to say whether it is real or fake. And if you want to take it a little further, the children can also say, why do you think it is real and why do you think it is fake? So let them underline or highlight what made them say that this was something which was fake. So you have spoken to them in this thing about documents. So if you look at this one here, docs, the O is a digit and the others are letters. So this is probably not correct. So internaut is written with a 4 in the middle. So this is fake. And why is it fake? The children will write the answers to this. So these are ready-made examples which you can take, and you can get the children to reason out. You could also do this as a classroom activity. If you don't want to waste paper and you don't want this to go out, you can just show this sheet to the children and let them have a debate about it and find out and give you the responses, and you can have a healthy debate discussion in the class about it. So who's this talking to me? Again, about perceptions, about people who are online. And you can scenarios are given here. Again, you can do think, pair, share, where you can give one scenario to a pair of students, where you can give them the scenarios and let them talk about it, discuss it, and then share what they feel about it in the class. Who's this talking to me? Here also the scenarios are there and the options are given. So you will tell them, are you going to ignore it? Are you going to block these people? Are you going to change your settings? Are you going to check them out online? Are you going to add them to your friend list, or are you going to give them your personal information? So when you are doing this again and again, are you going to ignore it? Are you going to block them? Are you going to change your settings? It's just going to get them to think about the various things that they can do in case they see something objectionable online or something which they are not comfortable with, right? And you will see that for the entire theme, for the entire curriculum, in fact, what flows through is that if you are uncomfortable with what you see online, go to an adult, talk to a mature adult, talk to a responsible person who can actually help you with that. So don't think that you are alone in this and you have to take a decision now. You can wait, you can talk to an adult and then come back to this. So same scenarios follow up, lots of scenarios, and most of them will work. Some of them will have to be customized, and you can do that on your own. And I read through these scenarios, and I know for sure that most of these scenarios are something that our children can relate to. So is this really true? So this is the next lesson that we are looking at here also. We are looking at the credible resources. How do we make sure that this is credible or not? And there's a lovely handout for this, which I also showed you during the first webinar that we had, where the questions can be given. So this is, more appropriate to classes 4 onwards, where children actually go online and they start researching stuff in most schools. So even if they are not researching online, there is some link that they have, or YouTube that they have to go on to, or some link that the teacher has given, or they are finding on their own. So they can use these questions to say whether these resource that I'm using, is it credible or not. So giving them that empowerment that you can do this on your own. So how do you spot what is not trustworthy on the online? So here again is a very, very nice activity, which I'm sure you remember from childhood as well, where you say spot the difference. So here there are 2 pictures, and the closer you look at it, more missing things you find out. So when you find out these missing things, you actually are telling them to look closely and to find out that on a URL there might be something which is missing. So how do you spot what is right and what is not right? So getting them to do this activity, and right after this you can give them some real URLs and some fake ones, and let them spot the difference. So give them abcnews.go.com and abcnews.com.co. So these are the kind of things that they should look out for. There are things which are missing. There are spelling mistakes. After com, there is a co. So this is USA Today has an S in the middle. So this is a fake website. So how do they make out what is real and what is fake? So just small activities for you to do it. And of course, there is the emphasis that needs to be given on, if you look carefully, you will find important information. And it's a lot easier if you know what to look for. So if you're armed with the URL has to have a .com and not .com.co at the end of it, so they will be able to look better. So it's always to your advantage if you are equipped for it. It is always for your own advantage if you've read well and you know what is right and what is wrong. So you will look for that thing then. So this is again Newsline, which is the shocking truth about what teachers do after school, and they seem to be gaming. So what's your evidence? What do you imagine about this story? What do you think? What's your evidence? So is this real news? Is this really what happened? So getting the older ones to see this will get them to understand that each thing that we see, we should actually look at it critically, and we should evaluate whether it is a real thing or not a real thing. So here again, it has a worksheet wherein you can talk about real and fake. And this is for the little ones, maybe even class 4 and 5. So if I were in search engine, that's another activity which is actually very fun to do in the class, where you can organize the children into 2 groups, and you can, or more groups, it doesn't really matter. What you can tell them, instead of giving them all the topics together, you can say, okay, I want all of you to um, think about what is pizza or what is map to you. You will see that each child or the group of children who have pizza, they will have a different interpretation for it. Not all of them will have the same interpretation. So here you can, with this simple thing, you can get them to understand about perspectives. What are the different perspectives that you can have, and what are the different way of searching that people will do. Something that you might like, somebody else will not like. And if you're talking about pizza, you can say pepperoni pizza, or you can say whatever kind of pizza that you can add, and how the search then changes. So this is a little activity of that. And here you give a topic and tell them, you search for an image, you search for a video or a map for this topic, and a website which I should go to if I have to look at this topic. And you will see that all of them, according to their own judgment, will have a separate one. So then you can have a conversation about how is your website more credible, why did you choose this website, what is the source for this, what made you think that this was the most appropriate place for anybody to go for if they're looking for any of those words that you're talking about. So you can make it less research intensive for the little ones, and for the older ones you can have anything from your content. So if you're doing maths or algebra, or who invented algebra, so you can have those kind of questions with the older children. So practicing internet research, I'm just going to go a little faster. There are 139 pages. We already on 66. You can see how everything is so beautifully put for you. And in the 139 pages, there are more worksheets and activities than content. Okay, so it gets you to deliver the entire thing with a lot of support. So here it is talking about practicing your internet research. So you have to look for a book that you want to read about mystery. So how are you going to do it? So your keywords is books about imaginary characters and mystery. So you get the children to write that, tell them what were the search results. When you change the keyword words, what was the revised search query, and what was the research. How do they do a research which is fruitful, and gives them quantifiable, verified results. So how do they do that? So this is a worksheet for that. So you can get the children to research, and then of course it ends with the interland games with the internauts, where the children play the games online and get their certification. So here, this is the one I was telling you about the passwords, where you can get them to do role play, understand how you can make the password strong. So that conversation is there. Then there is an activity where the children have to create, the passwords. So you have to discuss that. What are the possible outcomes if you're doing this? Then what happens? And this is an activity which we discussed yesterday, a day before yesterday, when we said, okay, I've shared my password to the social media. What's the fallout going to be? What is the action and what is the outcome that's going to happen? And what is my digital footprint impact of that? So let children think about that. So then there is, it talks about the password, how do we make it strong? And then there is the password challenge, where you have to create one, and then you can, after you've created, you can put them on this class boards, let them critique, let them vote which is the strongest password that they have created. And this is, like I said, something that the children really love to do. And you can have this handout in your classroom board, where it talks about what are strong passwords, what are weak passwords, and what are moderate in the middle. So how do you do that? What are the do's and don'ts for creating passwords? So that is there. And how do you make sure that your password stays private with you? So that's through page 80. And then there's the interland game for this unit. And then after the interland game is done, you can have the unit 4. Now, don't stress yourself out that I have to do 2 and then I have to go to 3. Wherever you think you can make the connections, you can do that. There is no proper way of doing this. It's just that they have this entire curriculum has been created into 5 units, and just for making it easy and convenient to deliver, it has been put in a flow. But it is absolutely up to you, because when I want to talk about it, I would say I would like to do empathy first. I would get the children to be in a scenario and tell them to find out or reflect on what they feel is they are going to actually absorb when they are in a situation like that. Maybe I want to start my sessions like that. So I want them to understand that when you are talking to somebody, whether it's online or offline, your impressions are getting created, right? So this person will like you or not like you, whether you are speaking onto a screen or you are sitting live with this person. So you have to be very careful about what you say, even online as well, because everything counts. It's about your kindness, it's about being nice. So I would say I would like to do this unit first. So take your pick, structure your lessons the way you want, and there are some very nice feelings and kindness and all those kind of situations in this, wherein it tells you of the scenario, and then it says this is Tucker and Athena, and it says what happened in the class, in the gym class. What? Nothing. It says nothing. That's what I said. So what do you get from this tone? And he says, okay, that's what I said. From your tone, it seems like something did happen. He says, no, nothing happened. So in this scenario, what are the feelings? What is Tucker feeling? What is Athena feeling? You can create a whole lot of generate a whole lot of feelings and voices from your classroom regarding this, and create that situation. Move from here and ask these questions. How will you? What are your hints? What are the 2 ways that Tucker might be feeling? What are the hints? So give them these little comic strips, and you can create your own as well if you think you want to customize it to a certain situation, and let them get their feelings. So this is about getting feelings, getting empathy about another person sitting in. Empathy is about always about the other person in front of you. So how do you think that other person is feeling? So what are the common feeling words? So those are, for the little ones, they are actually spelt out. How do you practice empathy? So this activity is followed with a conversation about various characters. There are pictures, there are situations where these things are being done, and your kindness gram is being made. So how do you make a kindness gram? Like you have a graph. How do you do that? So that is explained in this activity, and the children actually have to choose a person that they can show kindness to and make at least one kindness gram, have them work independently, and then have the children share their kindness gram with the partner. So you can again have the children think about it, call out a few children and let them tell about how are they going to act on the kindness gram that they have made. So empathy at school. So these are thinking prompts. You can show these to the children, have conversations. Why do you think that the child is like that, and how do you get them to self-reflect on their actions? What would they do? And this is a beautiful activity where it talks about how will I show kindness. So I will show kindness to, and I will show kindness by, and I will do this kindness think in where. So this is getting them to think about how will they be kind. You must have heard about the UNESCO curriculum also, wherein for every day the child writes, whom was I kind to today, and what was this act of kindness that I've done. So what we are trying to generate here is getting the children to understand that it's cool to be kind. You are, if you show that you're kind, it doesn't mean you are, if you're a boy, you are girly, or it doesn't mean you're emotional and you can't be a gutsy girl if you are being kind. So getting them to understand right from the beginning, and I think this is a beautiful emotion to invoke in our children, to be kind, to be empathetic, to show kindness to each other. And this proliferates onto the online space as well, because if the inner core of the child is full of empathy and kindness, and the way they can relate to each other, they will be able to actually talk to each other and get on with imbibing these qualities on their own. So what are the ways? So there's another activity for that, discussing the scenarios. How would you do that from negative to nice? How do you convert that? How do you actually get children talking to each other? How do you get them to understand that if you are talking to each other, can you give constructive feedback? Can you make it more positive? Can you how would you respond if somebody in your class is talking like that? So getting them to talk about it in the real world, so that they actually transact that in the online world. So I think if you really go through this entire thing, I have skimmed through with you, and I think most of the activities are something which will not take very long to plan. And here you can get the children again, same image, and you can see the image, the characters are the same, and here it has an angry face, and here it has the love emoticon. So how would the story change when you are doing that? So here also, somebody is written awesome for that kick, and somebody is written show off, so the entire thing changes. Here also awesome and show off. When you look at the photograph with show off written on it, your thinking changes, right? And when you're looking at the photograph with awesome written on it, this is something this person is proud of. So how do you make sure that what you're saying online is something which is kind, which is generous? Original artwork wins first place, and this is a hot mess. I discovered a new species in the world, and dinner. So how these words make for what you are seeing in the picture. So when you see, you create an image in your mind, but when you read what is written at the bottom, the perspective just changes. So how will you make sure that in this world we are looking at negativity and getting it towards saying nice things? And then, of course, finally, there is the interland games for unit 4 and unit 5. When in doubt, talk it out. This talks about the adult. How do you when you're upset about something, how do you talk to an adult and get your problem solved? So this is entirely talks about how do you what are the things that you might see online, what are especially bullying. So it talks about cyberbullying, and how do you get people to help you in that scenario. So again, the scenarios are given, and your children can discuss this. So you can get them into groups and discuss this, and how will you get support for yourself, and what are your takeaways. So these are little things. Like here, helpers have options. The choice is yours. What you do with what you see, what you do with what you post, what you do with what you are speaking or saying about something, or replying to a comment, the choice is yours. You are the one who's actually going to make that persona of yourself online. So you have to be very careful about what you say or not. So I think those are the various things that we discussed yesterday, and this is the book, the curriculum, which comes on to the hands of the educator, and I'm sure you will be empowered to conduct these sessions beautifully. And we look forward for people to complete this program, make a 2-minute video, and look at the 100 children, that maybe more. I'm looking for more children who have actually done it with you and are empowered to go on to the online space. So looking forward to hearing from you in the different forums that we have. And there is a follow-up session on Monday. Do join in if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your evening, for your time, and have a splendid weekend. Bye-bye, everyone.